Good. Thank you very much, everyone, and thank you, Father Ambrose. So, most of you, I think, will be aware of the Ealing Foodbank, which has been operating now for a number of years. We're delighted within the parish to be playing our small part to walking in solidarity with people who are walking the same pavements as us within Ealing, but who may be in need. Often anonymously, the Ealing Foodbank is part of a national network of food banks, as many of you will know, who provide food at the point of need to people who have an established need. So there's a process for making sure that it doesn't go, as it were, indiscriminately, but it goes, the food that is collected is allocated and handed out in a way in which it most helps people, individual people or families in need within our very community. The process is very simple. There are volunteers who help collect food at various locations, such as Ealing Abbey Parish once a month, and I'll come back to that in a second. You may also know from visits to supermarkets that there are collection points there and so on. So there are many ways in which, on a monthly basis or even a weekly basis, food is collected, consolidated into a warehouse, and from there is taken to the delivery points where those who are in need can come and collect them. So where does Ealing Abbey come in? We are one of the collection points for food. We do it once a month, almost always on the last Sunday of the month, the last weekend of the month, but mainly the Sunday morning. Almost always the previous week we have a poster which is available in both porches, which has the list of the most needed items. And it's always very helpful to have a look at that as a prompt to say, next Sunday is the collection, but also here are the items in my weekly shop I might pick up that may be helpful. We don't take short-dated fresh produce because it has to be possible to store it and it must be in date. We don't take out-of-date things like boxes of chocolates from last Christmas and so on. But of those things that we do collect, they get taken the following Wednesday to the collection point. And by the following weekend, typically, they have been handed out. So they don't sit there for ages, even though we need to make sure that they do have a shelf life. So in our small way, in our community, we are helping those who walk amongst us who are in need. We have collected, in the time that the food bank collection has been going here, of, those green crates that typically you see, towards 200 of them, many, many, many hundreds of kilograms, possibly a ton by now. And we are always told when we drop off the collection that our collection is amongst the highest quality, that is to say, the highest density of really useful items. So I'd like to thank everyone who already supports the food bank month on month in bringing donations. And I want to thank those who are here and who may be watching online, who are the stalwarts in our little team, Sister Vivian here, Patrick and others, who have a little rota going on a Sunday morning between about 8:30 and towards 1 o'clock when we finish. We have started a Saturday evening collection. It's slow so far, but you typically collect a crate or two, which is well worth having, I should say. And we very much want to keep that going. As a team, we work well, but we would welcome more people so that when we have an off month and one or two people are away, we're not scrabbling around to try and provide cover. So once more, a very, very local thing, and I want to say quite easy to support. Pop a packet of cornflakes or item of toiletry into your weekly shop the last week and bring it along on the Sunday. So thank you very much. So that's the first thing. The second thing, very quickly, the social committee. Who here is in the social committee? Ibby, for instance, and a few others. I'm going to forget people looking at the sea of faces. Shell, of course, these days very much, who's been an absolute transformation, I think, in the time that you've been here, in helping on the pastoral side of things, but also in the social committee side of things. Having had a really, really big pioneering social committee season 2 years ago with a number of events. Last year was a slightly quieter year. We had the St. Patrick's event, great success in the hall here and in the Bennett Bar. We had the Lenten lunch, which the social committee supported, an extremely successful event for the Lenten charity from last year. And we also, in the autumn, we didn't manage a pure social event, but we did do solemn vespers. So we had a gentle Advent-themed social event after Solemn Vespers, which is always the Sunday afternoon of the first Sunday of Advent. And we really that's a little way into part of what the social committee is about, which is about supporting the liturgical life of the parish for particular events like that. I suppose we could also mention in a certain way the Vigil of Pentecost. That's another liturgical event that has a social dimension to it. So this year, what do we have lined up? We're hoping to be able to confirm a St. Patrick's event, which would be on the Saturday, not the Monday of St. Patrick's itself, on the Saturday. We will again be doing the Lenten lunch, which I think is on the 11th of May, if I got that date right. So please watch out for those two things, and we want to slot in another Ceilidh and other pure social events, some of them aiming to raise a little bit of surplus funds for the parish. So when you see the posters and when you see the tickets on sale and when you see the raffle tickets being thrust under your noses, please support it and come and be part of the social life of the parish, as well as the catechetical life, the liturgical life and the sacramental life. All of these things go together. So thank you very much.